We're back. 90-day notice survival guide. What happens after you turn in your notice? Make sure you listen to the previous episode. We're going to build on it. So you've turned in your notice. I got to brace yourself. Now the weird part begins. If you're at a bad job, it's probably going to get way worse. If you're at a good job, it might just get super weird. Be prepared. And the most important thing I can say is have your support system built in place before you send in your notice as soon as you can. You're going to need a lot of support. So let's get into it. What makes it weird and awkward? The social part is real. Support Newton talks about, but for especially for women positions when we value relationships, we're really skilled at building relationships, it can feel really isolating when all the relationships shift. So once people know you're leaving, oftentimes you're going to get iced out of meetings. People you thought were friends may not stop or may not talk to you anymore. You may feel like I felt like a ghost. I felt like I was literally attending my own funeral and also still required to work. It was the worst. And I lived apart from my family for a little while. So I was alone during the day and I was alone at night. And I was just, it was before coaching. So it was a really hard time for me. And then one of my colleagues, who I thought we were great friends, we talked almost every day, multiple times a day. As soon as I turned my notice, she stopped talking to me. She would put cases in my cubby, wouldn't talk to me. Maybe she would email me about a case, but nothing personal anymore, dramatically all at once. And she told me, she said, Christina, it's really hard for me to even be around you because it's a reminder that I'm trapped in this job forever. The chair will never let me leave. And then I realized, this is not about me. It's about them. And some of them are hurting. And I totally agreed with her. I mean, I could see her point. She was right. The chair had a retention strategy that if she knew you were leaving, if she knew you were leaving and she liked you, she went hard after you and she sent all of her allies after you. So let's say you wanted to go to Mayo, she would send her friends to go tell Mayo terrible things about you so you would not get that job. That was her retention strategy. So my friend who stopped talking to me, she was like, listen, I can't ever leave this job. Being around you reminds me I'm trapped here. I got why relationships changed. And also, I think some people stopped talking to me because they knew their chair was retaliatory. That if the chair found out one of them was friends with me, then then the chair would turn up the heat on them, that they would be punished for being my friend. And then I realized, they're protecting themselves. They're not abandoning me. Like their goal is they're just protecting themselves in a very malignant job where the chair is vindictive. They're keeping themselves safe. I got it. And then it stopped hurting. And then I could really focus on the energy behind my new job, making friends and colleagues at my new job, looking at houses in the new city, finding hikes and hangouts, and being excited about everything that was going, while also making space to grieve. This job wasn't what I thought it would be. I'm sad that it didn't work out. I'm sad that my friends don't feel safe talking to me. I'm sad that they feel trapped here. Allow yourself to grieve as part of the moving on period. And when you do, then you can be excited about what's next. Something else that I've never talked about, but I think is really common. So I want to say it here. I think it's very common for us is to see our chairs as parental figures. I thought we were more than friends. I thought she loved me. I thought I loved her. So it was deeply painful when she didn't even make any kind of announcement that I was leaving, or there was no thanks for being here. It was very painful. And she came to my office. I remember she was like, is it even worth me giving you a counter offer? Because if you're going to go, then just go. And I said, well, I kind of want to hear what you have to say. I mean, maybe it's worthwhile. Maybe we could stay. I'm not 100% sold on the second job. So here was her counter offer. Listen, I can't keep you. This is her counter offer. It's so funny to see it. She's like, if you stay, I'm going to have to publicly punish you because I need to teach everyone a lesson that if they think they can leave and get a better job and then have a counter offer for me that gets them paid more, they're wrong. No one's leaving. No one's getting a raise. You will have to be punished. That's what she told me. Are you kidding me? So I knew very quickly I was leaving. But going into that conversation, thinking that there was love there, that there was friendship, that this was my mom figure, maternal figure, I was devastated. Looking back, though, I realized she wasn't my mom. She wasn't my friend. Every conversation she had with me was to ask something for me. She would ask me, "Can you invite me to a talk? I'm really afraid that no one's going to take me seriously. I don't sign out a lot of cases. I want you to invite me to talks. Can you put me on papers? Can you include me on projects? Can you cover this shift?" It was her asking me for transactional CV items. It wasn't her asking, "How's your family? What do you want to do this year? Where's your next vacation?" It was not a friendship. And that actually really helped me. That helped me release it, to be like, "Oh no, there was never love here. It was a transactional relationship." And I don't fault her for it. Like, relationships in the hospital are supposed to be transactional, but it helped me release like any pain or any attachment. And then I could focus my energy on my new job, making new friends and colleagues, researching hikes and hangouts, getting excited about what's next. But here's what I learned along the way that I just will never forget. I mean, oh my gosh, that counter offer was such a joke. Okay, here's what I'll never forget is, yeah, in the most painful parts of leaving, I remember thinking to myself, "Gosh, I've given everything for this job, and I did not even acknowledged for leaving." Britain, most RVUs do all the med school lectures, the most papers, the most, like, I've shared my academic, I put all these people on papers, and not one acknowledgement that I'm leaving after 8 years. I realized, here's what I did wrong. Not from not a judgy, shamey place. I will never give everything to a job again. Never, never. What a valuable lesson. But we get sucked into this because medicine likes to throw around, "But we're a family. But, we're a family. So we need to all be team players." That kind of BS, which none of it is true. It's a very dangerous lie that has us putting our hospital life above our family life, saying yes to things that are unhealthy for us, staying in jobs decades longer than we need to, protecting an institution over protecting our family. So hear me on this. None of them are your family. That is not your home. All of your family is at your home. Everything at work is a transactional relationship. Some people in there, you'll have some genuine friendships, amazing, hold on to them. And also leave room that even those may change after you give a notice, not because of you, but because they are trying to protect something of them for themselves. The most important thing you can do during these final 90 days is to lean hard into a world that exists entirely out of your current institution. Friends outside of work, family outside of work, community outside of work, people who know you as a person, not as an RVU generator, people who have no conflict of interest and loving, supporting, taking care of you. Because in the end, the institution just sees you, is just a replaceable RVU generator. It's just what it is. And I don't fault them for that, but you are irreplaceable to the people who really matter. Spend more time with them. Next is understand that the moment you turn in your notice, the institution is now designed, it has to protect itself first. They owe no more loyalty to you. The loyalty is to the people who step behind. I get it. You want to see that too. Once you submit your notice, the loyalty shifts. So you might have been the favorite child because you wrote a lot of papers, but once you submit that notice, you're not the favorite child anymore. Someone else is, and they will protect them over you. My chair said that to me directly. She's like, "Listen, once you leave, you're not my priority anymore. I need to take care of the people staying behind." That's the whole thing. So it's not even sometimes that they're mean people trying to get you back. They'll be retaliatory. Sometimes they're like, "Okay, we just lost a huge workhorse. I can't afford to lose somebody else. I need to like double down and keeping the faculty here. They're hanging on by a thread." So what can happen here, very common, is you had a vacation pre-approved. There are all of a sudden you no longer can take it. Your PTO gets entirely frozen. They don't pay you out. They don't let you use anymore. Your CME funds disappear immediately. So if you've been saving up your CV, your CME, it's gone. Conference, if you were planning to go give a speech, you were planning on a bonus, you're planning on a certain call schedule, okay, plan on all of it going. It might not, but I'll say I've seen it happen. All of it changes overnight. So it just means you need to be smart. Listen to the last episode where I told you how to protect all of this. For example, if you have a big bonus coming next month, put your notice in after you get the bonus, right? Use your PTO and CME every year, spend it down, don't save it. And if there is a gap where you just didn't know and there's like $20,000 that you're not going to get, but this is a horrible job, release the job and the $20,000. You don't need money from a bad job. Give the $20,000 in a signing bonus to your new job. All right, so let's move on to other things that you may not consider that really surprised me, wish someone had told me. I'm going to tell you now. Research and publications will get complicated. So if you're close to submitting a paper that you want out, submit your resignation after it. You have a book that you're almost done with, submit your resignation after the book is in press, because institutions, I have seen this, will block submissions, papers, academics. You might think, don't they want this paper? Don't they want to be included on all this academic work? Not if they're retaliatory. If they're retaliatory, they're going to want to hurt you more than they're going to want to help them. And that's why you're leaving the job. So just keep it in mind, just be prepared. What really helped me, like as the 90 days got super weird, is telling myself this: Christina Arnold, you can do anything for 90 days. Yes, it feels tense. Yes, I feel like a ghost at my own funeral. Yes, everything is weird. Yes, all my friends have abandoned me at work, but the clock is ticking and it's on my side. And every day I'm closer to leaving this job, this terrible job. This part, 90 days, is now 89 days, now 88 days. It's temporary, especially with the right system around you. And if you remind yourself, to me, I used it, okay, that was a mean thing my chair just did. What a great decision I made to leave. I used all the data points to reinforce my decision to leave. And so it had me feel actually stronger. So let's cover some quick action sprints that you can do during your 90-day notice period. Before I do, I want to ask you a favor to please share this episode with your besties and rate and review the podcast so it helps reach more people like you and lets me know what you like. Okay. Next is to plan something exciting every day. If not, if you can't do that, every weekend, something small. It could be a bath, it could be a walk, it could be ordering a new purse every week, sending yourself flowers. Do something to make this period easier. Next, plan something exciting for day 91, a trip, a dinner, a celebration, something that gives your brain something to look forward to after this very temporary period is over. Next, design your new identity before you leave. Start thinking about, how do you want to introduce yourself? What do you want this next chapter to be? Take your brain to the future and you'll immediately start feeling better about the present. Next, make one new friend a month. Just give yourself that goal. It has to be somebody outside of the hospital. It might be a neighbor, someone at the gym, a walking group, a book club. You want to start expanding your social support group. Next, set a hard boundary after hour work communication. Girlfriend, you are leaving this job. You do not need to be bringing work home on Sundays or emailing them at 10 p.m. Cut that off and then hold that boundary so you don't do that the next job. Next, research your new city, your new job, your new neighborhood. Treat it like a travel destination. What are your favorite places to eat? Yelp some of your favorite Friday night spots. Next, write a letter to yourself about why you made this decision and how you're so proud of yourself. Read it every day if you need to. Let your clear words, love, support, and strength invigorate you. Next, quietly strengthen relationships with your colleagues at your new job. Quietly or loudly, whatever that looks like. LinkedIn connection, coffee chats, virtual dates, meet them at the next annual society meeting when you're flying in to look at the house, go out to lunch. Next, you don't have to pretend everything is fine at work. Not at all. If you're feeling like a ghost at your own funeral and everyone's icing you out, you can just be like, this is real weird. You don't have to be fake about it. Next, give yourself permission to grieve. Listen, at one point you love this job. At one point there was likely a part where you really love this job and had a lot of hopes for it. Otherwise, you would never have said yes. It's okay to grieve that you're leaving it. It's okay that you can both hate a job and hate leaving it. Like, it's our human emotions are very complex. You can both hate this job, be excited for the next job, and have some grief come up because you did a lot of good work here. Name it, allow yourself to grieve it. Have a ritual around it. Like, you might want to have like a mini funeral or just let yourself cry one afternoon. I think the grieving part is so important in moving on. So in summary, 90 days notice that you will be completing can sometimes be hard, can sometimes be smooth, can sometimes be both. The painful emotional piece, take that to people who've earned the right to see it. Your current boss, colleagues, if they're icing you out and they're being vindictive, they haven't earned the right to see your vulnerability. Don't share that with them. Take it to your coach, your therapist, your friends, your family, your partner. Build your support system, protect your documents, release relationships that are complete. It's okay that some relationships are transactional. Focus on the people that count, you, your family, your new job. Throw your energy into the future because, mama, it is bright. The clock is running on these 90 days and it is on your side. If you're considering giving your 90-day notice, you need to be in Next Level Freedom, my lifetime coaching program, where we support you through every phase of your career. You have lifetime access to weekly coaching, our curriculum, private podcasts, community bonus trainings, guest speakers, so much more. So one-time payment of $2,500. There's a payment plan, and none of my clients pay. My goal is for every one of you to get this paid off through a raise, your institution hire. When I help my clients get 100,000 raises, they go from one job to the next. Believe me, it pays for your coaching. Join us this week. Book a sales call now. And if I could please ask you to share this episode with everybody that you know and rate and review this podcast. I have 18 reviews. I've been doing this for 5 years. It's humiliating. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.